Hi, my name is Mary Wong, and I am a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner and acupuncturist. Welcome to my live fertility post number 9. And tonight I'm going to be talking to you about stress, fertility, and the workplace. And this is basically to pick up where I've left off because this morning I had the honor of being interviewed on national television, a morning show, Your Morning in Toronto. And because it was my first time doing it, of course, there were certain things that was said. And then there were a whole lot of other things that were just missed. So I want to go through some of the things that was missed, and hopefully you'll get some insight about that. So what was mentioned was that there is a reality where basically most women are working, and as you're working full time, and for those of you who are at a fertility clinic, it becomes really difficult and challenging to navigate both worlds simultaneously. So if you're trying to go to the fertility clinic every single day and then getting to work on time, and just the long grueling hours, it just becomes tiring. And even at the end of the day, it's difficult to even get together with your spouse or spend much time together. And it's ironic because this is a time where you do want to spend lots of time together. So what do you do? So the advice would be that there's lots of things that you can do that can help it. And I mention a lot in my book. However, I'll give you 4 main pieces of advice that I'll share with you today. And the very first one being that it would be really, really great if you can share and confide with somebody. Make it like a buddy system. And what that means is that you tell somebody and they can cover you either physically because you're away for appointments at the doctor's office every day, or just covering you and getting your back, deflecting questions from others at work. That would be really awesome. And secondly, I would also put right up there eating nutritiously. How I put it is that nutrition is your building block to life. So if you're finding yourself that you're too busy to eat, well, that's not necessarily a good scenario to try to create life. So don't skip meals, meaning, and bring your food where you can. And if you can't, then at least choose better options, like, instead of McDonald's, find a place that will have better quality foods and more whole foods. And then thirdly, just know your limitations. And so this is, when you're trying to make a baby, it's really not time to prove yourself at work. So instead of volunteering for an extra project, then you might look and see how else you can just work smarter so that you're not stressing yourself out at work. And that may include things like telecommuting if it works for your line of work, or flexible work hours. Some people have even taken a day off and do a 4-day work week. Just be creative and see what works for you and your line of work. And then lastly, and I mentioned this one today, is about making dates. Plan time with your partner, because again, when you have long work hours and you get tired, you just don't even want to do anything anymore. So we want to keep the love alive, which will increase the love hormones, increase oxytocin, which will help with your hormones overall for reproductive organs. So do that, and you never know, things can spontaneously happen. So that's that piece. And with regards to just general overall advice, I did again today. So I'm going to basically encapsulate what we also spoke about this morning, and I also offered advice about generally, and one of which is taking care of preconception testing. So to know where your baseline is, even if you're beginning the journey or perhaps not even ready yet, and one day looking towards it, because um, things change over time, and you also want to know your baseline, like, and look and see if there's any predispositions like hypertension, diabetes, any kind of thyroid issues, as well as gynecological issues that can impact fertility, like endometriosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Um, well, there's just a lot more. Anyway, you can get testing, you can go to a doctor, do ultrasounds, do blood work, and find where your baseline is. And I think that's about it for that. Oh, you know what? Going back, I want to tell one little story back to the creating a community. I find that there's a hesitation for a lot of my patients when I say this, because again, going through fertility is a private journey, and a lot of times people don't want work involved, and that's fine. But sometimes you'll be surprised that your work may be more supportive than you think. I know that there are cases where work is definitely not supportive, but there are places where they are. And so a friend of mine was a manager, and before she was pregnant, one of her employees went up to her and said, listen, I have limitations right now. I'm going through fertility. This is what it looks like. I have to be at the clinic by such and such a time, and I will likely not get to work by 9. I know you want me to be here for 8:30, but it's just not going to work. And so what do you want me to do? Because I can physically not do this. So my friend made the exception of letting her do a flexible working hours. So it was a win-win for everybody, because my friend knew that she did take her job seriously, and rather than thinking, oh gee, she's late every day, she knows that this woman is accountable, and she was happy in that she went up to her and was still performing at the capacity that she was able to. So that's one example. In my book, I refer to one in which there was no support, and in that case, which hopefully isn't too often, this woman did end up going on stress leave because it posed so much stress. And stress can impact fertility, unfortunately, to a certain level. So, you know, how do we minimize stress in this woman's case? Well, she ended up going on stress leave because it really impacted her health and well-being, which impacted her ability to conceive. And in the end, she did conceive naturally, but you can read all about that. So I'm going to sign off. And next week, please join me, because I'll be going live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because this will be my official book launch party. My book is currently out, Pathways to Pregnancy, and you can get it at Amazon, you can get it at any bookstore, and I hope you do pick it up and let me know, give me a shout out and tell me how you think, and write to me. And you can check me up on marywong.life, and keep going through my posts here on my Facebook page, Mary Wong RTCMP, and I'll look forward to seeing you next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye for now.